Hi everyone, I'm in the process of making a tempering oven for the split cane, and I've got two duct pipes that are plugged together. They're 2 metres, that's 6'6", which is amply long enough now. Because the end caps, the tubes are 80mm and the end caps weren't available in that size. So what I'd done is I'd found an old tin that I'd kept some corks in, and I'd cut the tin in half, and lucky for me that piece fits there and the lid fits on there perfectly well. So what I've got to do is I made this bit here and drilled holes in the bottom to regulate the temperature, but because it's a bit thin, when I open that it doesn't lay flat. I bought some aluminium sheet and I'm going to measure this, cut it to size with another flap and attach that to it, and it'll be much better. So what I've done is I've measured across here like that, and I've got 4 3/8 of an inch. Then I've got my ruler here and my calipers, and put it on there and measured the distance, and that will enable me to draw because that's 4 3/8, so it's half the distance to draw a circle to cut the template out. No die chem? No problem. We'll just use a piece of pen. Sorry, piece of pen. A indelible marker. Like so. I'd already measured this to 2 3/16, so it only has to be roughly in the middle. So that's not going to damage it at all. Right, that's that done. That's that piece of cut out. Now for the little hatch. So a temperature regulator. So I'll just switch the camera off. Okay, so I've made the other part. Now I need to make the front of the front cover for the tempering oven, and how I'm going to do that is I couldn't get the end caps, so cut 2. I'm now making the front cover for the tempering oven. and they didn't have any 100mm end caps, but I was lucky enough to have a biscuit tin lid that did fit. So I bought some 1.5mm sheet aluminium, and I'd cut it to size in a circle to fit inside the lid that goes on the oven, like so. That will be riveted in place. Now what I've got to do is, because of the 2¼ inch aluminium pipe inside the 100mm pipe, is I need to cut a hole for the pipe to poke out the front. That'll be where the split cane goes. So let's try that. I've already put a centre point on it. This is a excellent drill bit I got from B&Q for £2. It'll cut steel, a hole saw. But before I do that, to stop this moving around, I've got to attach it to this piece of wood, and I'm going to do that by screwing it to this bit of wood. But to do that, I'll have to drill a couple of holes. Just turn the camera around. Got to drill a couple of holes to screw it so the wood so it doesn't move. That's one. Yeah, that's two. That's my 2 holes to hold that in place. Yeah. Okay, so I've screwed that to a piece of wood so it's firmly held in position. And what I've got to do now is, let's move this around, is drill a hole with that in there. Yeah, no problem with that. Safety glasses, mustn't forget to wear those, and you get one set of eyes. Here we are. Let's see what I'm going to do. I reckon. I'll change the speed on that. Be right back. Okay, I'll put a bit of colour on it and reduce the speed. Getting there. A bit more oil. short work of that in the end, didn't it? Move the camera a bit. It's quite warm. Right. Now I think I've drilled it in the right position. So I'll go and get part of the oven. And we'll see if it helps. What I'll do is I'll put the same size hole in the lid before I rivet the two together. Like so. Never mind the mishap, you can see why I screwed the other one down. That's going to be like so. Now to rivet the two together. I think shall I have that on the outside or the inside? They look quite nice on the outside. Like that. Yeah. Right, rivet holes. Now to drill the holes to rivet it together. Not knowing what sizes I should be using, I think I'll get along with that one just fine. That's a little bit too small for my rivets. I have to use a slightly larger one. So we'll try one imperial size larger. That should do it. Yeah, that's it. Here we go. That's that one on. Now the mistake I made then is some extra strength. I'm going to glue it on. Okay, so before riveting it, the mistake I made is that I should have glued it with impact adhesive. It definitely won't be coming off. But it's not too late. to remedy that. Oh, that'll do it. Next rivet. That won't be coming off. I reckon one more, just to make it look pretty. Right, so put another rivet in it. That's it. That's the best part of the lid. Now I'll move the camera, as you can see, the other part of the oven and how the lid's going to fit. Yeah. So you can see that, can't you? Hope so. Yeah. This is the 2 1/4 inch aluminium tube. It's got a wall thickness of 1.5 millimeters. It's the 100mm flue pipe. I've got 2 of those at 2 meters long each. So that's 6 foot for my oven, for the tempering oven. Okay, there's a gap, but I'm going to put something around that once I've made it. Now I'm going to have to drill another hole here, say, for the heat gun, so I can put the heat into the oven. Okay, next hole, 1 3/8. Very good drills for £2. There. So you can now see that the 2 1/4 inch pipe will be through there, and I put the cane in there, and the heat gun, the nozzle, will go there to put the heat into the oven. Right, now to tidy the mess up. This is the aftermath of drilling a couple of holes. Some of my nice tools that I've collected over the years. When I bought the rivet gun, I never thought I'd really use it, but it's, over the years, from time to time, it's become very handy. There again, £5, Rolson, good old Rolson. That's my Imperial drill bit set that I built up. I bought this on the flea market, as you might call it, boot sales, and painted it British Racing green, and then populated it with Imperial drills, all in 64ths. I've only got another, got to collect another 5 to make the whole set. It's really quite good. Once I've tidied up, I'll show you the oven. This is what I've done so far. As I showed you previously, this is the end cap I made to go on here because they didn't have any. in the size I wanted, and so effectively this is my oven. Now I've got to make a lid to go on here. The split cane goes in there when it's hot enough and you put the lid on. The heat gun, which I've got, which is 300 to 600 degrees. Hope you can see this. Let's tilt the camera a bit more. Oops. Will then go in that hole there. So the heat goes all the way to the other end of the oven, where there's a 6-inch gap on the end, so the heat then comes back this way through the smaller pipe, tempering the split cane evenly to a nice even temperature. And I'll move the camera a bit. If it gets too hot, I can regulate the temperature by opening that and letting some heat out the holes here with this little what do you want to call it, a latch thing? I don't know, like that. So I've made that, but I've got to take this off and I'm going to glue a leather patch to it to take up the slack in there. A nice piece of leather will do it. And that's my regulator for the temperature. Right, so what I'll do is I'll put it together so you can see the whole thing and get a better idea. Okay, that's the oven assembled. It's 2 meters long, 6'6". I hope you can see it all. From this end there's a 6-inch gap so the heat can come around. I can disassemble it for storage, and it will be able to reach a temperature of 300 degrees. But what I've got to do is get some insulation to put around here to help keep the heat in, and I've got that. It's on the way. I'll put some steel clips on it, and they make a wooden platform for it to sit on, and it'll do the job that I want it for, that I want it to do. That's my split cane tempering oven. It's more or less now complete.